Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review on the very viral, currently, foundation from Mercier. This is the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. I already reviewed this in a Trying New Makeup, which I will link my first impression of it if you want to go check that out. However, because it's gained so much popularity recently, I figured we need to do a dedicated so I can show you how this applies to the skin, all the claims of it, how it wears. We'll do check-in at the end of the day. I've had this for a little bit now. I can't remember when that video went up, but it's definitely been a couple months I've been using this, so I do have some thoughts on it, and I wanted to do a full review in case you're curious, because I know this is super hyped up right now. So let's go over the claims before we get to application. It retails for $64 Canadian. I'm using the shade 3W1 Dusk, which is a light medium with warm undertones. I typically don't go for warm foundations. However, when I was picking out my shade with the swatches, some of the neutral ones looked orange to me, so I went warm with this foundation. Is it the perfect match for me? I don't think it is still. However, it does work. We'll be matching my body, which is considerably lighter than my face, which you can obviously tell. I am filming in natural light now, so everything looks true to how I see it. I only had one comment on my last video saying things look washed out and not realistic. It's literally the opposite for me. Like, you can see absolutely everything with natural light. So I'm loving the natural light. It's very realistic. You'll actually see how this applies on my skin. I do have some texture. I'm gonna zoom you guys in for that part. So this is a weightless foundation that blurs the lines between makeup and skin with medium buildable coverage, waterproof wear, and up to 12 hours of fade-proof wear. Medium coverage, but buildable. The finish is natural. The formulation is liquid. It is vegan. The highlighted ingredients are high-resolution pigments and 3D smooth priming powders, perfecting cake-free coverage and optimal color laydown with less product. Blurring bamboo silk powders and hydrolipid matrix, balance moisture and shine control to maintain skin's optimal state, camellia seed, vitamin E, and cacao extract. This antioxidant-rich formula helps defend against damage by external stressors. It keeps going. Hydrating, cake-free, color-true wear that blurs the look of imperfections, pores, and fine lines while improving skin tone texture immediately and over time. The formula is dermatologist tested, non-comedogenic, and suitable for all skin types, even sensitive. This foundation, ton of claims, and it's been out for a little bit. I love the packaging on it. It's so sleek, and it does come with a pump. There is very little product that comes out with each pump. So I'm gonna show you. So that is one pump. I remember in my Trying New Makeup, I did 3, but the shade is actually pretty good for me right now. For application, I'm going to be using the BK Beauty 101 brush to apply this. And what stands out for this foundation is how it applies. You're gonna see it goes on the smoothest and the most flawless layer without any blending. It is truly remarkable in the sense of how it applies. I think that's what's going viral, is just you see it going on the skin, and it's so smooth. So let me zoom you in. We're gonna get really close for this. If this ends up being too close for you, please let me know. There's always people who like it, don't like it. Everything is just a preference for people. We're gonna try out very zoomed in for this just so you can see it apply on the skin. So let me know if this is helpful for you guys, because otherwise I can back it up a bit so you can see my whole face, but I want you to see how it goes on top of my texture, how it covers all the spots on my face. The more zoomed in, the better, I feel. I think the glow it gives is super pretty too. And this gives really great coverage right away. Minimal blending, it just honestly smooths on the skin. If you like the MAC Serum foundation, the Rare Beauty foundation, I feel like these apply on my skin similarly, just due to how thin it is. This is truly weightless. You do not feel this all day on your skin. Like, one of the most lightweight foundations I've personally used. You have to like a glow with this though, because it is very luminous. It says it's natural. My skin just doesn't look this luminous naturally. So it's not a natural finish to me, at least for my skin, because I'm normal leaning dry. I wish my skin glowed like this. So that is one layer of the foundation. I backed it up just so you could see it at different angles. Not everyone's gonna be up in your face, zoomed in, but we'll zoom back in for the second layer. If you had less to even out or cover up than me, one layer would be sufficient. However, for my skin, you saw in the beginning that I do have just a lot that's going on. So I do find just an all over evening works for me as opposed to spot concealing, because I have lots of redness, discoloration to my skin. But look at how well this builds. Isn't that beautiful? And that's what's getting people, is this initial application. Because truly, it looks wonderful. I typically go for more of a satin leaning matte foundation, only because I do have texture, pores. However, if I were to pick a glowy foundation, this is the kind of radiant finish that I personally like and still think is flattering on my skin, even though I don't have perfect skin. Even with those issues, I still think it looks really pretty built up, and it does smooth everything out. The finish is so beautiful. I don't think it's my perfect shade match. However, I did struggle, as I said, when I was picking, just because the neutrals look fairly orange. So I still have to kind of figure out my perfect shade. This is what 2 layers looks like. Really, really pretty, I think. So I'm just gonna go ahead, put on the rest of my makeup. You can see how it looks like with a full face, how everything applies. I used the Sephora Best Skin Ever Glow concealer yesterday with this foundation, and I loved it. So I'm gonna quickly apply the rest of my makeup, come back, and I will talk a little bit more about this foundation. I'm back, all my makeup applied really nicely on top of this foundation. You could see, just because it is such a smooth base, that everything just glides on it. So no issue there. I've worn this several times, and all the products that I've used with it go well with this foundation. So it's not one of those finicky formulas that I don't think mixes well with your other makeup. So that's really nice to know going into this. The thing about this foundation is it's claimed for a 12-hour wear. And that is one of the things that I want to talk about, how it wears. It is weightless. I do feel this transfers though if you don't set it. I have to set this foundation because it will come off, especially if you're a face toucher. So you gotta be sure not to touch your face. That's with most foundations though, honestly, you shouldn't be touching it. But this one specifically, I feel like it doesn't ever fully set down when I don't set my face. Also do think this looks better on me when I can use a setting spray. I didn't use it for the purpose of this video just because I want you to see how this wears on its own without the help of something that's gonna lock it down and be more long wearing. So I'll show you at the 12-hour mark what this looks like on my skin. I do get some oiliness in my T-zone. I don't feel like this ever breaks apart though. That's another thing to note, which is amazing. So it's not gonna patch off, look patchy. It's just gonna overall give you that glow more so throughout the day, at least how it wears on my normal skin. Overall, the claim for a 12-hour wear nails it. I personally like something 16-hour wear. When I wear this a little bit longer, that's when I notice a little bit of those wear issues on me specifically with the coming off. However, it doesn't claim to be that long wearing. It claims to be 12-hour, which should be suitable for a lot of people. However, for me, I do prefer 16, but I will show you what it looks like at the 12, and I still think it's a fantastic wear. Overall, I love how glowy this is. It just looks like really healthy skin. Healthier than what my skin looks like normally. So that's what I like about it. But sometimes I can't reach for these foundations if I'm having an off skin day or I'm insecure about my texture or pores, because you can see a little bit of it. I still think it's flattering though, and it's not one that I would say don't reach for if you have my issues, because I still think my skin looks really, really good with this. So this is natural lighting. I will be checking in studio lighting because we don't have natural light at night. So you'll see the difference there. I will have some pictures though of the wear as well to throw in to show you how it looks like in photos and everything that you want to know. But definitely pay attention to the T-zone for me. That's where I get the most kind of breakthrough of oils, though it doesn't break up the foundation, which is fantastic. Also, the color, it's not that bad. Could it be a little bit more pink for me? Yes, I'm definitely not as warm as this foundation is, but I can make it work. It's passing for me, but not my perfect shade. So I hope this helps you out, and if you do pick this up and you're similar to me in skin tone, let me know what color you decide to go with. I'd love to know, and I'll check back in with you guys at the 12-hour mark. I am back for the final check-in. We're in my old filming space and using artificial lighting, obviously, because it's nighttime. And I wanted to show you all the wear on my face. And the most noticeable thing for me is that when foundation starts to wear, and my natural oil start coming through, you can see every single pore on my face starting to settle into some lines and that sort of situation going on. And with this foundation specifically, I did notice that kind of gathered on my chin. Wherever I have facial expressions, it gathers slightly. I do have foundations that don't do that and don't accentuate my pores as much at the end of the night. But I want to just comment on how it's all intact and hasn't faded at all. So it is in place. And simply for me, what I just need to do is repress it into my skin. And that's something that I could do throughout the day that corrects this. So it's not a big issue for me, but I just noticed my pores, smile lines, and all those things more just with how this wears. So what I'm going to do, just mainly the extra shine in my T-zone like I was mentioning earlier, that really needs to be repressed in. Everything else doesn't even look oily, maybe slightly dry. Repress everything in. That's gonna make the pores, fine lines not look as prominent when it's not like highlighted with my oil. And I do have normal skin. It does lean slightly dry. And I remember using this. This was a little bit more oily on my skin a couple months ago, but it was warmer weather. And I actually think I really like this foundation more now that it's getting colder outside. I actually really love how it wore today. For 12 hours, not too bad. It is slightly wearing off on my nose now that I'm looking at it up close, and just gathered in a couple spots. My typical spots that can gather just in my more expressive area. It's the T-zone. That's always my issue. So it's all up in there. But I think overall it looks really good. I would still recommend giving it a try, honestly. If you've seen the viral videos of this and you like how it looks like on my skin, it's definitely worth a try. You have to like something with more of a glowy finish though, and also it's not overly long wearing. 12 hours is still long, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a 24 hours type of foundation. There is going to be some wear on the face, but overall I think it looks pretty good. You guys have seen all my foundation reviews before, so it does look like one that I like and performs really well just based on it not fading off my skin. So I have been enjoying it, and I actually like it more now that the cooler months are upon us. So I'm probably gonna reach for this a little bit more than I was, just because it is performing better on my skin. I noticed yesterday when I was wearing it. Today I just think it's wearing better than it was back when it was warmer out. I feel like it does live up to the claims. It is flawless, it is weightless, it just feels good on the skin because it doesn't feel like anything. With all that being said, it's definitely a great one and worth the hype. I'm surprised that it took till now to get hype, because when I initially tried that, if you saw my trying new makeup, I was blown away by the application of it, and that's what's really going viral right now. But it does have a decent wear, so I wanted to show you the wear, wanted to show you up close on texture and pores, how it looks on skin that's not perfect, because I'm a great candidate for that. So I hope this helps anyone out there who has similar issues to me and wants to know if this is one worth checking out. I definitely think it is worth checking out. So thank you so much for clicking on this video, for wanting to know my opinion. If you've not already, I'd absolutely love for you to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell to be notified of all my future videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one.